But we are well into autumn, and while there's a lot of talk about changing colors, anyone's been affected by breast cancer wants you to think pink right about now. Welcome to 11 TV Hill. I'm Jason Newton, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and regardless of your race or ethnicity, breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women and is among the leading cancer-related deaths. The most recent annual numbers show more than 224,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer each year. That's just in the United States. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, this show, we're going to talk about survival and treatment and medical breakthroughs as well. But let's begin with the best-known risk factors for breast cancer. Family history plays a large part in many diagnoses. Long-term use of hormone replacement therapy can increase a woman's risk, and some studies have even shown that heavy alcohol consumption and night shift work can increase a woman's risk for developing breast cancer. But getting regular exercise and maintaining a healthy weight and even breastfeeding after birth can help women decrease some of that risk. Now, I'm here now with two women who have beat the odds and they've survived breast cancer diagnosis and treatments. Michelle Webster joining us, also Joy Tabbs also, and thank you both for coming here. We're talking a little bit. Yeah, thanks for coming. One thing that we've been talking about a lot, two things: early detection and self-examination. And I think that it's something that young women, older women, everyone shouldn't take for granted. Yeah?
Correct.
Talk to me for your cases. What do those two things mean for you, self-exam and early detection?
You go ahead.
Early detection for me, because I found my own lump back in August. I mean, women tend to say that, oh, you know, check yourself, self-exam, do it. And quite honestly, I didn't do mine, probably maybe 5 times in a month.
Yeah.
I happened to find mine by mistake because it was an itch, and I went to scratch and found it. But if you be more apt to checking yourself as often as you should, I would probably say 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Honestly, now being in the situation, it could help you, find it early, because I found mine early. I was only stage 1. Thank God for that.
Yeah, sure.
So self-exam, definitely, early detection is the best detection.
Michelle, do you think the average woman is taking that time now, or do they still need that reminder?
They still need that reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually did not find mine. My doctor found mine. And he pursued it more. I was 39, so he's like, oh, you're close enough to 40. I don't think that 40 should be an age for mammograms. I think they should be at any age.
Really?
Any woman. I mean, you see 18-year-olds, you see 20-year-olds. I don't think they should have to wait till 40 to get their first mammogram.
I made the assumption that that most women would know of a family history, and that would be the first, exclamation point that said, all right, I've got to go get checked. But you said for you, there was nothing in your history.
No history. My great-grandmother had it back, when she was almost 90, but no history in my family at all.
Yeah.
Until, well, 3 years after mine, then my mom got it.
Joy, did you have any idea? Was there someone in your family?
Yes, my maternal grandmother had died from breast cancer, and I had let them know that when I was 35.
Yeah.
I was living in Texas then, and they told me, oh, no, that's not an issue, you're okay, it's fine. Wait till you're 40, and I was 38 when I found it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Something like this, is this beneficial? Listening to you two talk earlier, you could hear the similarities and some of the differences in your stories. When you're able to connect like this with another survivor or even a sufferer, what does that do mentally, do you think, for somebody?
I think it helps people.
Oh, yeah.
Even being a 6-year survivor, it still helps me. I look back, and I'm like, could I have done anything different, or should I have checked more, or been more aware? Back then when you heard it, you were like, oh, that seemed like a death sentence. But now there's so much out there that can help people, and support of others, even if you don't know the person, that support helps.
Sure. Also, just getting through, like chemotherapy or radiation, I heard that as well. Does that come in for someone who may still be a sufferer, who may not be as far along as you, to say, listen, here's what's next, here's what you can expect?
For me, it was very therapeutic to talk to other survivors, people who was going through the same thing I was going through, and I went through social media with mine as well. I did my whole journey on Facebook and Instagram, and I cannot tell you the outpouring of support that I've gotten from both of those networks, and it was just the best for me. I mean, it helped me on days when I did not want to get out of bed, and I would read something like, we love you, Joy, you're strong. That helped me get out of the bed some days.
Wow.
It really did. It really, really did.
For your personal life, I know you work as a dispatcher, and part of your job also is with a stress team.
Yeah.
And so as you're going through your own stress, you're helping other people get through totally different
Totally different. And I always am there for everyone else, except not for my, for my own self, even when I was going through chemo. My troopers were there for me. You know, my friends and family. They were like, "Get up, come on, let's go shopping. Oh, let's go walk." You know, something. But work actually helped me.
Yeah.
That was a big backbone for me. Me to go to work and see just the support that I had, and just the push. It helped me get through it.
Joy, you even brought your support team with you today.
I
mean,
did.
you always are surrounded, I'm supposed.
That's right. They love me.
Yeah. If there's advice for young girls out there now, and I know you said that regardless of the age, you should go ahead and get tested as soon as you can, and that's
Yes.
your idea. Anything else you would tell a young person now as how they should approach life when it comes to breast cancer?
Just be aware.
Yeah.
You know, awareness is the big thing. And I know October's just, like I said earlier, awareness is just for October, but it should be every month.
Every
you know,
month, I
every
agree.
month for anybody that's going through it. Not just for breast cancer, for any type of cancer,
Any
really.
type, right.
But breast cancer, it's big now.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
seen it when I was going through it. It seems like it's a lot more. And I guess I wasn't aware back then. You know, you hear it and you're like, oh, okay, it's not going to happen to me because it's not my family, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But now that I've seen it, and yeah, I
Okay.
think people should be more aware, even, like I said, even at the age of 18 or 16. Anything, be aware.
Well, ladies, I thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you coming by.